Morning, Bluewater, and welcome to a very Christmas edition of the Bluewater Backstage podcast. My name is Tim. I was going to make a joke about being Santa. Not sure how that would fall, so we're just going to move right along there. My name is Tim. I'm one of the pastors at Bluewater Church in Sarnia, here with my good friend and brother in the ministry, Pastor Scott Stevenson.
Hey guys, you want to be associated with Saint Nick? He's a heretic puncher, right? So that's kind of cool.
Is the best. My favorite meme of all time is that old timey picture of Saint Nicholas with the halo and everything around him, and it says, "I've come to deliver presents and punch heretics, and I just ran out of presents."
I love that.
That is my favorite of all time.
So funny.
I need to figure out a way to get that onto the slide deck this year for our Christmas services.
A t-shirt, maybe.
A t-shirt would be even better. Yep. We are talking about Christmas traditions this morning. And before we go any farther, we want to just put it out into the ether that you are invited to come to our Bluewater Christmas Eve service. We have 2 this year. The Lord has been so kind to us. You remember those old days when we could all fit together in one service at our Divine campus?
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like a long time ago now, but man, these are the problems you pray to have, right? So we are glad, but it is a change too.
Yeah, so we have 2 services on Christmas Eve. This is the 24th. I believe this is tomorrow from when you are hearing this. If you hear this on the day that it comes out, we'll be at our Divine Street campus, 4 o'clock and 6 o'clock p.m. Would love for you to come to either or those. One of them, the auditorium is going to be nice and bright. The other one is going to be after the sun sets, and that auditorium gets fairly dim when there's no sun out there.
It does, yeah, which is nice for candlelight stuff, right? It's also important to remember if you're looking for childcare options, just the 4 o'clock, right?
Just the 4 o'clock. Yeah,
I'd love to see you there. It's gonna be great.
We are talking about Christmas traditions. What has been good for you and your family? What has worked? What has pointed your kids to Jesus? We're just kind of shooting off the top here, and we're not experts by any stretch. However, my family is way older than yours, so I probably have a better handle on what didn't work in my context. At least you're kind of right in the middle of the fun slot of when where kids enjoy Christmas the most and where it's super fun. So why don't we start with you, Scott? Tell us about Christmas traditions. What do you guys do? What works to point your family to Jesus? What has flopped? Tell us.
Yeah. I think some I'll give a couple of examples, but the way that you talk about Christmas all the season of Advent and leading up to it, right? And the focus, right? Like how much conversation, how much excitement are we putting on kids about, what's your list and what do you want and all this kinds of stuff. Like we kind of create a culture and set a tone as a family just in the conversations that you're going to have, right? Leading up to it and trying to have as many, even in our family devotions leading up through the months and stuff, like just setting a tone that the kids know what the point is. They're kids. They're always going to be excited about the idea of gifts, but I think you can help steer that culture in the small conversations too. But in terms of traditions, we've often done, maybe not every single year, but lots of years we've done the birthday cake for Jesus. Have you guys done that before?
We have. It's been a bunch of years, but yes.
Yeah. So kids always think that's pretty fun, and it's just maybe seems kind of silly to some people, I guess, but it's just a small way of pointing them back to what is the event that this whole deal of celebration is about, right? So we've tried to do that. I always grew up having my grandfather read the Christmas story in Luke 2 before anyone touches anything. We spend time in the Bible, and so if I maybe not every time reading that exact passage, but we spend some time in the Word before we open anything on Christmas morning, which is important, and pray together, and that's setting the tone.
Yeah. Do you have any memorable flubs?
Memorable flubs. Well, like you said, I feel like we're just kind of firmly in the time where the kids are able to be reasoned with. Yeah. Where they're able to lock in and give some attention and not just, those first couple of years, they're just ripping at stuff and ripping around, right? So I'm not sure if we've tried anything specifically yet that just flubbed. The engagement and attention can vary depending on which of these things are going on, right? Like a birthday cake for Jesus is easier to get attention over than dad, in a family devo at dinner leading up to Christmas, kind of trying to highlight some of these themes, but nothing disastrous yet. Although maybe that day will come. Do you have any good ones?
We have one that's right. So this is back in the day. My son Austin, who's now like, what is he, 22? He was like 2 years old.
Yeah, he's a big boy now.
Yeah, maybe 2.5. And we had just got one of those video cameras, those old, like Bob, do you remember those? We put the cassette tapes in, and it wasn't like an analog one. It was a digital, but it still had a cassette tape. So this was like the big time, like a handy cam type thing.
That's cool.
Everyone did not have a camera on their phone. So this was a big deal. So I don't know what I was thinking, but this thing was new, and I set it up on a tripod, and Val and myself and Bryce, who would have been like 4, maybe 5 at the time, and Austin were sitting there, and in front of the Christmas tree, the lights are dim, the lights on the tree are up, and I'm telling these kids the Christmas story, and I'm thinking, this is going to be a memory that we cherish forever. We're going to pull out like the old timey slides and pull down pull out the screen out of the closet and pull it down. And we're going to show this video of, look at, grandkids, look at your dad when he was so little. And I was thinking this was going to be such a special thing. And right in the middle, Austin looked up from me reading the story, and we had the little LED screen or LCD, whatever, turned back so that we could see.
Yeah.
And he saw that he could see himself on there and walked right up to it. And so to this day, we've got this amazing video of little 2-year-old Austin looking right into the camera, making faces and like, that's me.
And, like, this is about me now.
That's right. And it was super duper cute for all kinds of different reasons, but I'm not sure that we communicated the true meaning of Christmas all that well in that moment.
That's amazing. And you guys have said, I think we shared a couple weeks ago, like about wrapping up baby Jesus as one of your first things. And
yeah, it is. We have so let me start at the top on this. We have all kinds of traditions in my family. One of the things that we do for probably a decade or so now, the Christmas album that we love in my family the most is Andrew Peterson,
that's the best one,
called Behold the Lamb of God. It's so good. It is the first Christmas album that we listen to every year. It tracks the story of Christmas from creation all the way through to, really Christ's return and the whole thing.
So you're saying it tells the fact that the Christmas story is bigger than Luke 2?
It absolutely does.
Yeah, wow.
Yes, it does.
That's
great. So he for the last bunch of years puts on a live stream and they just play this the album front to back with amazing musicianship. They do it at the Ryman, the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, and so we throw that on and we all sing our little hearts out. So we go to obviously the Christmas Eve service at church. Then we go back to our place and we all sing, and it has been funny since my daughter's boyfriend, now fiance Corbin, has been part of the picture. We're all singing and Corbin is just sitting in the...
What?
He didn't do that in his family.
Oh, well, time to change, Corbin.
Well, this is what I
want to hear you singing.
Yep. And my daughter-in-law, Caitlin, she will start just very quietly singing a little bit along, but we still have work to do in Corbin. But it is just fantastic to be together. And I think probably the biggest thing is... To highlight something that you just said, man, make a choice to make this about Jesus.
Yeah.
If you're the parents, make a choice. This is not something that happens to you. Like you happen to it. Right. So make sure that you prioritize more than just the Santa Claus and the gifts and the materialism and all of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, not to say that there's not fun traditions and like driving to look at the Christmas lights and like all these other things, right? But what is the priority? And like you said, if you don't have a plan, like you'll just it'll move towards the gifts and the Santa thing if there isn't an intentional decision. Speaking of that album, I loved hearing Rachel sing Labor of Love last year from that album, right?
Yep.
And it's a little hard to hear it now, though, because Emmy was so obsessed with it. I have heard it every week for a year, at least once.
Amazing.
And so, maybe I'll have to sing it one in the future. I know it well enough now. So, but it is an awesome album. And like you said, setting the tone. The whole story of God is the Christmas story leading to Christ. I love that.
Can I just jump in here? Bob, on the ones and twos, you just heard that if Ray can't do it, Scott just volunteered. So
oh, man. Yeah.
We'll lock that in there.
We might need to cut that. Another tradition that very recently we've started in our family, which I guess isn't, it's not reading the Christmas story. It's not birthday cake for Jesus, that element of of it. But something that in Bethany's family that they always did was her dad would at Christmas give every child a letter, like a Christmas letter, which I guess is kind of connected more to like the year's end and this kind of thing as well. And that was always really meaningful. And as the family grew, like I got one, my brother-in-law's brothers-in-law got one, and it was super meaningful. And really it's just like a reflection on what has God done in the family? What has God done in the life of the child? And what do we have to be thankful for? And as a parent, what have you seen growth-wise in your kid and this kind of thing? And every family's different. Everybody's love language is different. But I thought that was super meaningful. And so he passed away not quite 2 years ago. And so this is something last Christmas for the first time I thought I want to carry that tradition forward. And so give Bethany one of those and the girls, and it's just a way of pointing back to this is about God. What has God been doing through the year, but as before even opening gifts, right? Like that there's a letter celebrating God's faithfulness to our family. And so that's been cool for us. Maybe it'd be cool for you guys in your family if you're listening, and maybe you hear that and you think that's not us.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
But get something.
For sure.
Yeah. So you hinted at this a minute ago, and I got distracted and didn't mention it. But the first thing that first present that we unwrap every year is we have this little nativity set. And for years and years, actually, I think we picked this up from Val's family as well. I'd have to check with her on that. But we take Jesus in the little nativity, we wrap him up, and the first present that we open is to unwrap baby Jesus. And it took a shockingly long time before all three of my kids
That's amazing.
were not surprised.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, it's baby Jesus again. And then,
what are the odds?
What are the odds? And, but that's as much as we laugh at that now, it's still something that we do. I guess now that I've grandkids, probably next year, there's going to be surprises awesome. with Bear opening up baby Jesus for the first present too.
Pick it up faster than Grace did.
I don't know how it would be possible for them not to.
And that's like a small thing, and that's fun. Mm-hmm. And some of these things are fun and like kind of silly even, but it's those little redirects where we're turning our heads, turning our kids' heads back towards Jesus, right? And like it can be fun too. That's okay.
That's right.
It's about the refocusing, right?
It's about the refocusing. It could be tacky. It could be meaningless if you're materialist the rest of the time and like, hey, here's this little token thing that we do. But if you do take the moment to like, nope, this is what this is. Yeah. And let's not forget, let's reorient ourselves. I think you just used that word and it's a really good one. Let's reorient ourselves to what's actually going on here. Yeah. So then I need to give my wife a lot of credit because she makes sure, like I'm always kind of brain dead. Christmas is busy. Christmas is a lot for pastors. But she always makes sure that on Christmas Eve, there is a good, very good spread. So we always eat good food. We always have, some kind of bubbly drink of some sort or another and fancy glasses and whatever. And we always make sure that Jesus is the centerpiece of it.
There's a book, I believe that you gave this to me recently. I forget the title offhand right now, but like God gave us good stuff to enjoy. Yeah. Like, man, eat the best food you can eat at Christmas. And that is part of our celebration and our worship because those things are from him, and make sure it's connected to what are we feasting and celebrating about. But like, this is Bible stuff, man. There's going to be a feast, the marriage supper of the Lamb. So like, you don't have to feel bad enjoying good things, and even gifts. Gifts are good things. It's the why. And man, is it hard to sometimes read the Christmas story when your kids are staring at a pile of presents? Sure, but not making that something, okay, guys, we have to rush through this so we can get to the good stuff. But that parent guiding that is the way we do that is important.
Can I highlight that book real quick? Because that's a great connection. Yeah. It's called Strangely Bright by Joe Rigney.
That's the one, right?
Such a good book. The thesis of the book is something like, so he takes the title from the book from that old hymn. Bob, we might need to get you over here on a mic so you can sing it for us. But it goes, the things of this earth will go strangely dim in the light of his glory and grace. Yeah. And basically he takes that idea and goes, actually, it's the opposite of that. In the light of God's glory and grace, the things of earth don't grow strangely dim. Actually, God gives us good things like good gifts, like good food, like good family. He gives us those things to make tangible God's untangible attributes. And so quite apart from the things of the earth going strangely dim in the light of his glory and grace, actually things of this world grow strangely bright in the light of his glory and grace. Very thin book, very small book. It's only, I don't know, 50 pages, maybe 70 pages, something like that. And very, very much worth the read, and a really good Christmas gift if you're still looking for,
that's
for
awesome.
a gift for dad or something like that. It would be a really good reminder.
Yeah. Because, man, God could have made all food taste like dog food, and he gave us some pretty awesome stuff, and that's not an accident. And there's lots of imagery like this in the Bible, and some things are worth feasting and celebrating over, and calories don't count at Christmas.
That's right.
So
there is this kind of puritanical idea that some Christians have where, like, anything that is fun, anything that's that's good,
fun.
There's probably some sin there, right?
What's the heart posture actually behind that stance, right, is important to address. There's one last tradition that I think I've never done, but I think is really cool, and I definitely am doing it next year, that I think comes from a book, and it's called the Jesse Tree. And just from looking at it so far online, like you could I think do the book and follow theirs, but you could just create it too. Like basically
You've told me about this. I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah. It's a set of like an advent calendar countdown, right? And you put a new ornament on the tree instead of opening a chocolate, right? You open an ornament. Not against the chocolate thing. We also do that, but maybe in tandem, you do this and you open an ornament, or you make them at home. Kids can make them.
Yeah.
And they each symbolize something from the Old Testament, the story of God. It might be seas parting. It might be a scarlet cord. It might be, I don't know how you make an ornament for Judges 19 or Judah and Tamar, but you find
the slaughter of the innocents.
Yes, you find one from all of these things, right? And maybe you draw something representing Egypt, right? To remember that, and idea is at the end of the month, you can see all of these things are the Christmas story. All of these are pointing to what God's doing through his great redemptive arc, this story arc leading to Christ. And it's not just shepherds and angels. And like putting those on the tree every day with your kids gives a chance to enforce that, like that album does, of like, man, this is all connected to Jesus. It all culminates in him. And I really want to do that next year.
Yeah. And make sure you're listening to Behold the Lamb of God by Andrew Peterson as you're doing it, because it hits all those points. Yeah. Hey, before we wrap here, let's just take a second to talk about this. I'm springing this on you. Was Jesus actually born on December 25th? And I see all these reels on, Instagram or whatever, talking about how Jesus, like Christmas was not a Christian holiday. It was a pagan holiday.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, there's some great people who make content that defeat a lot of those common arguments. Wes Huff is one of them. Is it Mike Jones, the inspiring philosophy guy, does this every year, and he has a hilarious way of doing it as well. No, probably not December 25th specifically, but I believe it's decided based on, his name's slipping me right now, but a guy who seemed to feel like he could calculate when Jesus was conceived and move forward from that, 9 months. And so they picked this date as an agreed upon day to celebrate the birth. But it doesn't say in the Bible specifically the exact time when he was born. And that's okay.
All these content creators that ring this bell about Christmas being a pagan holiday before it was a Christian holiday. And if you have Christmas trees, then you're actually worshiping pagan gods and you're worshiping Odin, not Jesus, and all this stuff. It really is silly. What it comes down to is that there was this early Christian belief that you died on the date that you were conceived. Okay. So if Jesus died on the Passover, then count back 9 months and you get to December 25th. It's really just that simple. And it is not a pagan holiday. Christmas trees are not pagan. All of these things. Santa, probably pagan. The roots are St. Nicholas, who we like, but the Santa Claus thing, there might be some paganism there. I'm not sure that was a joke, but you and Bob didn't think that was as funny as I thought it was. To refer to my best known joke.
And like, my thing of this, it reminds me of the same way that people try to suggest like Jesus' birth and the virgin birth and the star and like all these things are connected to myths about other, Egyptian gods and random other figures in history. It's like, hey, you know how you figure this out? Read. And it becomes really clear once you read that these are massive reaches that sound convincing when skeptics say them quickly in succession.
Yeah.
But there's really no stock to any of these big claims, and those guys online do a great job making that clear, better than me.
Yeah, it's true. Now there's like this whole kind of back catalog of content creators creating this content. So even if you ask ChatGPT, whatever, all these large language models, they're sourcing from all of this, created content recently, but there really is like zero in the sources about any of that stuff.
Yeah. So probably not his birthday, and we don't have to feel bad about that.
Yep.
Because we're remembering him on that day.
That's right. That's right. Well, listen, you have been listening to the Bluewater Backstage Podcast. We want to wish you a very Merry Christmas, and it is our hope and prayer that this season you wouldn't get caught up in materialism, that you wouldn't get caught up in busyness, but that Jesus would be the center of all things. So my name's Tim.
I'm Scott.
You are loved. Have a very Merry Christmas on behalf of Bob on the Ones and Twos.